Good morning. Welcome to GMSA. It's 9 o'clock this morning. We got Erica here with us.
Starting Saturday the right way.
Yep, we're excited to have you in for Sarah today. Here's the thing. I've been talking about it all morning.
Yes, that's right.
I have seen Twisters, the movie. The first one was really lacking on the science, if I do say so myself. The second one, it's a little bit more scientifically accurate. I actually see some people I know who work in the National Weather Service there as well in the movie. So it's a fun time.
I'm excited to see it. I haven't seen it yet, but it's on my list.
If you can suspend your reality and just let the tornadoes take you, it's really wonderful. So you should see it. It's pretty great.
Awesome. Well, weather, we got a lot going on coming up this week.
Yeah, if you see the movie, you'll get out of the heat. But later on this upcoming week, we are going to be dealing with rain and temperatures in the 80s for the highs. It's in the 80s right now, but we're just starting off the day here in San Antonio. 82 degrees, 84 in Del Rio, 78 in Uvalde, 76 in Fredericksburg, 81 in Austin. All right, we have got relatively clear skies for most folks, but you zoom in. Let's go ahead and zoom into areas closer to Hondo, Somerset, Devine. A little bit of cloud cover for the western part of Bexar County into Medina County, but pretty soon, most of us are going to be fairly sunny today. It's going to be hot, 97 for the high temperature, just a stray downpour, 20% this afternoon. But here's the thing, tomorrow 96 for the high and a small 30% chance for an isolated shower storm, but a slightly higher chance for those few showers and storms in the afternoon. Hey, coming up in the forecast, we're going to be talking about how there's a much better chance for rain over the next several days, including highs only in the 80s in the week ahead. Those details and how much rain you could see in your backyard coming up in just a bit. Erica.
Gonzales County Sheriff's Office has issued an Amber Alert this morning for 6-year-old Lucas Mendez and 2-year-old Lucane Mendez. They were last seen yesterday evening in the town of Rosanke near Bastrop County. Police say they were also last seen with 34-year-old Martin Mendez. If you have any information, you're asked to call 911. Now to some of the top stories this morning. 19-year-old Jonathan Tijerina is a free man after the jury in his capital murder trial found him not guilty of all counts. Now, jurors spent 5 hours yesterday deliberating before reaching a verdict. Tijerina had been charged in the death of Takai Michael, who was killed outside a Northeast Side hookah bar in 2022. Tijerina's mother was visibly emotional moments after her son's verdict was read. Now, 5 other men were also charged in Michael's death. Those 5 avoided trials by taking plea deals. Airports, banks, hospitals, and small businesses, so many places that almost all Americans depend on every day. That's just a few of the places reeling after a worldwide tech outage struck Microsoft computers early yesterday morning. Now, so how did this happen? Professor Mix Kilgore from the UTSA Systems and Cybersecurity Department joined us on a KSAT Q&A during our 6:30 newscast yesterday. He said it wasn't an attack, but a bug inside a cybersecurity update from an Austin company called CrowdStrike. But there's still no word on how that bug got into that update.
Everybody basically does a lot of testing before it's ever turned loose on production systems, and there's been pretty much just crickets about whether that how much testing there was, what was it tested on, etc.
Now, many impacted customers and companies were able to get back online quickly after the bug hit, but for some, there's no reboot date in sight. To listen to this full conversation, just head to KSAT.com. Now to your latest recalls. Hyundai is recalling nearly 67,000 vehicles over software errors and equipment failures. A software error in 2024 Santa Fe's could cause them to roll away while they're in park, while Hyundai Genesis G770, Elantras, Konas, and Velosters going back as far as 2019 have fuel pumps that could fail, causing a loss of power. Bissell is recalling upwards of 3 million steam-shot handheld steam cleaners due to burn hazard. According to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, the recalled steam cleaners can shoot hot water or steam onto users during use or while heating The recall covers multiple models in the model series 39N7 and 2994. People who have these models are asked to contact Bissell for either a $60 credit for a Bissell.com purchase or a $40 refund for each of the recalled steam cleaners. Your time now is 9:06. It is now 81 degrees outside. Now, there's a growing trend that could save you a lot of money when you travel. All you have to do is show some Southern hospitality and open up your home to strangers. Stephanie Serna takes a look after the break. Taking a live look with Live Cam. It is already a warm start to your day. Sarah Spivey will have your full forecast coming up after the break. A home swapping trend is now growing in popularity, and it could save you a lot of money. Now, Stephanie said in a talk with someone from right here in San Antonio who has been home swapping for years and tells us if you're willing to open up your home to travelers, you can vacation without the big lodging costs.
Barcelona, Italy, and Boston. Those are just some of the places that Karen got to stay at a low cost because of home exchange. Are these some of the places that
yes, right, yeah.
visited? Oh my goodness, show me.
Well, I usually try and put the most recent. My best home exchange tour, I went to Barcelona, and so this was from the south of Spain.
Karen Rowe has been home swapping since right before the pandemic. She has stayed at a flat in Barcelona for about 10 days, and she's been able to stay at other expensive places like Boston for a longer period of time at no cost for lodging. She can do this because of companies like Home Exchange that list homes available to swap and charge an annual membership fee. What would you say to people who are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you have strangers in your house?
You have to realize that you'll be staying in their house. You know, they'll take the same care of my house that I will try and take of theirs. And it'll, allow for a nice vacation at a low cost if you're willing to open up your house to do that.
Karen has hosted about a dozen people so far, and she says she really doesn't have to make big changes to her home, aside from taking out some personal items out of her drawers and locking up her documents and taking her children's pictures down. Show me what you might have to change when someone's coming in. What do you have to change about your home?
Sure. When I have a home exchanger, I have a pre-printed thing with the Wi-Fi password and a lot of information about how to get local things. I'm near the Pearl District, so some restaurants at the Pearl I like. I give them a couple of maps. So I don't drink coffee, but I bought this coffee maker and I just set it out with a welcome note and some coffee for the guest, and then sometimes the pastries from Meteor or praline, something like that.
Karen tells us she also likes that Home Exchange works on a point system. So every time she takes a trip, it does not have to be an even swap. She can use her points to stay somewhere else.
I often host guests in my house while I'm out of town somewhere else and acquire points and then use those points to stay somewhere in the home exchange system.
And with her property in the West Fort neighborhood close to downtown San Antonio and the Pearl District, Karen says she has acquired quite a few points after having dozens of guests stay at her home over the years. Stephanie Serna, KSAT 12 News.
Like Airbnb, but rewards.
I hadn't heard about that.
I really hadn't either. I would be wary of having strangers in my home, but that's just me. You do you. I'm glad it's working out for her. That's really nice.
And speaking of working out, weather. We can work out.
I thought you were going to say you want to work out after this. Not really.
Yeah, but it was a decent morning to go out right now, but it is going to warm up.
Absolutely, it is going to warm up. Now, we did have some rain overnight. You can see the radar's fairly quiet right now, but I want to show you where the rain fell. Mainly near San Marcos and then Hallettsville. But take a look at how much rain fell. 4.5 inches of rain just north of Hallettsville. Impressive rainfall amounts. Even in San Marcos, 2 inches of rainfall. This is the kind of rain that I think we're going to be dealing with this weekend. First of all, isolated. You can see just in pockets out there. And then wherever the rain falls, it could be heavy, just like we saw in the overnight hours near Hallettsville. Here's a look at the futurecast this afternoon. An isolated pop-up downpour possible. I don't think it's going to be as widespread as it was yesterday. We did have some good rain around San Antonio yesterday. And then tomorrow, slightly higher chance. And you can really see that on the futurecast. Kind of fills out a little bit more. Still isolated in the afternoon tomorrow. but I think you have a slightly better chance to see rain in your backyard. And then once again, not expecting severe weather, but if you do get a downpour, it could produce heavy rain and some lightning. All right, it is already 81 degrees in San Antonio. It's 82 in New Braunfels, 84 in Del Rio, 77 still in Boerne, and 76 in Kerrville. Here's a look at your KSAT 12-hour forecast. We're going to be in the mid-80s here shortly, 91 at noon, only an isolated shower in the afternoon, 20%, 97 for the high, and then later on tonight, you know what? It'll be a pretty nice evening. We're going to be looking at temperatures in the 80s, not too humid in the evening hours, southeast winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Today would be a good day to do yard work because we see rain chances increasing in the days ahead. Just try to do it now before it gets to 102 in Del Rio, 100 in Carrizo Springs, 98 in Cotulla, 96 in Kerrville. Here's a look at those increasing rain chances. Monday, a 50% chance for a few showers and storms, mainly during the second half of the day. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 60% chance. We are going to see some good rain chances in the future, all because this heat high is not overhead. It's off to the west. That opens up our atmosphere for a stationary boundary to kind of fire off a few showers and storms starting Monday night. And then we'll see residual rain throughout the days on Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Now, it's not going to be raining all day on those days. It'll be kind of on and off, hit or miss showers and storms, but you got about a 60% chance of you seeing some good rain in your backyard on those days. Most amount of rain should fall across parts of the hill country and out near Houston and Galveston. Galveston does not need the rain, but parts of the hill country definitely do, with the least amount of rain well south of San Antonio. Again, I think it is a safe bet in San Antonio that Monday through Thursday, a lot of rain gauges will collect at least an inch of rain. Now, there could be pockets of more than that as well. And it's going to vary day to day, so keep that in mind. As we take a look at temperatures, that's another good thing in the forecast. Highs will only be in the 80s in late July, some 20 degrees cooler than what we were dealing with this time last year. So a welcome change. Speaking of a welcome change, we'll be back right after the break.
As more and more people look to renting housing instead of buying, it's important to know your rights and responsibilities as a tenant or housing provider. Now, the city of San Antonio has partnered with the Fair Housing Council of South Texas to give free information sessions to people. Now, there's one happening at 10 o'clock this morning, and our Devin Karp is live at the Forest Hills Library on Ingram Road to tell us more. Devin, good morning.
Yeah, Erica, good morning. You know, we're already starting to see some people out here getting ready to come in because this is some of the information we've heard from people say is really important to their lives. And I've actually got with us Sarah Wamsley Estrada, one of the people in charge of making sure that everything can happen today. Sarah, good morning. How are you doing today?
Good morning. Doing great. Really excited to get started today.
Yeah, so what is going on today for anybody who doesn't know?
Yeah, so this is one of our RentWise SA events, and they are just information sessions to help people learn about their rights at the state, local, and federal level. The goal of these is to make sure that renters in San Antonio have a really positive experience, and same for property owners too who are renting.
Yeah, and why is it so important to have this conversation around housing rights and responsibilities now of all times?
Yeah, so I think everybody saw through the pandemic how eviction became a really top of mind issue, and unfortunately it's remained a need in our community. So we created these sessions to help people understand what are the rights, what are the responsibilities that you have, so that we can avoid people ending up in eviction courts.
Sure, and it's not just information that's going to be here, right? There's going to be some resources available for anyone who's coming in as well?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got fair housing counselors on site, so if you have a specific question, you can get in and have a chance to talk to someone.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can you give me a little bit of like a cliff notes of like some of the important things that people should know about when they come and learn from this session right here?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the main things that we spend time covering are some of our local laws that people need to know about. One of those is our resolution on tenants' rights and responsibilities, which is just a high-level compilation of everything you need to know as a renter. So we'll walk through that, and we'll also walk through the Fair Housing Act, which is federal legislation, and it helps protect people if they have a disability, if they're experiencing any kind of discrimination. So really important things to know about both as renters and property owners.
Fantastic. And this is the last information session of the summer. Is that right? The next one's not coming up till September?
September 10th is our next session, but we've got a great website, sa.gov/tenants rights, where you can watch videos that explain these things and download other resources. So you're not missing out if you can't make it.
Fantastic. Well, this event is going to be starting at 10 right here at the Forest Hills Library off Ingram Road. For now, I'm going to send it back to you, Erica. Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Devin. Well, your time now is 9:22. It is 81 degrees out. Now, if you're looking to watch something new after the break, we'll take a look at what's in theaters this weekend. New movies are blowing into movie theaters this weekend. SA Live's movie guy, John Mark, gives us a look at the highly anticipated sequel to the 1996 film Twister and a couple of other flicks in theaters. This is a fun one, so take a look.
Are you seeing this? We got twins! Twins! They're combining.
Guys, whatever's in there, it's big and it's moving fast. Drive. Go.
I'm your resident film enthusiast, John Marr. Strap in because we're going to take a look at what's funneling its way into the box office this weekend. The big blockbuster this weekend is Twisters. Yes, it's a standalone sequel to the 1996 film Twister.
It's headed right for us! Get out, look out!
If you don't know what a standalone sequel is, we've got you. It's a film set in the same universe as the original movie, but it has little to no narrative connection to its predecessor.
You think you can disrupt a tornado?
In theory.
And it can stand on its own even if you haven't seen the original film. This sequel has big shoes to fill. Twister was the second highest grossing film of 1996. I wonder if there's going to be any flying cows in this one.
Cow. I gotta go, Julia. We got cows.
Twisters is about Kate Cooper, a retired tornado chaser and meteorologist, haunted by the devastating encounter with a tornado. She gets lured back into the open plains by her friend Javi to test a groundbreaking new tracking system. She crosses paths with Tyler Owens, a charming but reckless social media superstar who thrives on posting his storm-chasing adventures.
If you feel it, chase it!
I feel it. Right here. As storm season intensifies, Kate, Tyler, and their competing teams find themselves in a fight for their lives as multiple systems converge over central Oklahoma. The role of Kate Cooper is played by Daisy Edgar Jones, the star of Normal People and Where the Crawdads Sing. Anthony Ramos plays Javi, you know him from Hamilton, the hit musical. And of course, the Cyclone of Handsome is played by our pal, Glenn Powell. The Texas native continues to be a rising star. Just last month, he premiered Netflix's new movie, Hitman, at Austin's Paramount Theater. Twisters is rated PG-13.
Fear's the reason you do it.
All right, we're joined by one of the great minds of KSAT 12, Mia Montgomery. And as a meteorologist, did you get to see the original film when it came out in 1996?
I grew up watching that film. I know some meteorologists have very strong opinions on what's factually accurate, what's not. I personally just love it, grew up watching the film, and I'm thoroughly looking forward to the second movie.
Did Bill Paxton's character inspire you to chase tornadoes?
I definitely think he added to the hype of chasing tornadoes. I thought that that was the coolest thing, and whenever I went to college, I did join the storm chasing team as a result.
And on the tornado scale, the EF scale for tracking tornadoes or measuring them, how would you rate Glenn Powell?
Oh, I'm gonna have to go with an EF5. If you feel it, chase it.
Is that it?
Nope.
We've never seen tornadoes like this before.
Also in theaters this weekend, Disciples in the Moonlight. It's a new film about a reluctant leader in charge of a team of 7 Christians intent on smuggling Bibles into underground churches in a future America where the Bible is illegal. Disciples in the Moonlight is not yet rated.
Could you open the door?
What do you want?
You're in trouble.
For scary movie lovers, the new horror film Oddity. It premiered at South by Southwest this last year, where it won the Audience Award in the Midnighter section of the festival. It centers on a blind medium who is grieving the death of her twin sister.
Why do you want it?
He took my sister's life. I want to see what was going through his mind.
A wooden mannequin from her cabinet of curiosities becomes crucial to her quest to uncover the truth about her sister's murder. They're calling it a wooden mannequin, but this thing looks more like Twiggy, the weird cousin to Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy. And Twiggy got run over by a lawnmower, y'all. Oddity is rated R. That's it for this weekend's New Flicks. I'm John Marr. Have a fun weekend at the movies.
Good morning. It's 9:30 on this Saturday, July 20th. Let's go check in with Sarah Spivey on what we could expect for this weekend.
Okay, so heat. It's going to be very hot this weekend. Highs will be in the upper 90s. But there's some joy on the horizon in the form of temperatures in the 80s and a small chance for rain, actually a much better chance for rain after this weekend's small chance for rain. So let's talk about it. Outside right now, we're getting into the 80s. It's 81 in San Antonio, 82 in New Braunfels, 84 in Del Rio, and it's 77 still in Bernie and 78 in Kerrville. A warm and humid start to the day. This is what I mean by it's going to be hot. 97 for the high in San Antonio. We've got a small 20% chance for an isolated shower today. There's that small rain chance, and we'll continue with that tomorrow too. So isolated pop-up showers in the afternoon, but more widespread rain next week. And how do highs in the 80s sound? In late July. Yep, it's likely next week. I'll give you all those details coming up in just a bit. Erica.
Thank you, Sarah. Now to your health headlines. A recent study revealed tampons contain toxic metals and other things harmful to a woman's body. Now, Patty Santos spoke with the healthcare expert who offers women a holistic approach to their health.
If you're a woman or you have women in your life that you really care about, then this story is for you. A recent study found that tampons contain lead and other toxic chemicals. The concern is that the vaginal exposure to these chemicals has a higher likeliness to be absorbed into our bodies. The metal toxins found in the study increase our chances for dementia, cancer, sexual development issues, mood swings, and more. Adrian Ortega takes a holistic approach to women's health. Adrian, tell me, what's your focus?
My focus is women's health and reproductive medicine here in San Antonio.
And now you had been talking about this study yourself. Some of the people that follow you on social media, they are looking to you for some guidance. What are you telling them?
I'm telling them that seeking other alternatives that are reusable are a really good choice. And I'm talking about period panties, menstrual cups, menstrual discs. Basically, like a disc or a cup, it will go into the vaginal canal and right below the cervix and basically catch your menstrual flow. And it's easily reusable. You can clean it at home, and in the long term, it'll save you a lot of money.
And I was reading a study that was done. It said that over 40 years, a woman will spend about $6,000 in menstrual products. So even just going to the store, you know some of these menstrual products can be very expensive. So do you have any advice for saving some money on that?
Absolutely. I have some period panties that I personally use, and I recommend. It's called from period.co, and they start at $9. Most of the period panties are actually $9, which I feel like is very reasonable, very affordable, and I believe Walmart actually carries them now.
And I feel like we don't talk enough about this. This is kind of a taboo conversation, women's period, but this is a space, this is an opportunity to be able to do that safely.
Absolutely. I feel like we need to continue having more conversations with girlfriends, families, people that we're close to, because we're all basically menstruating for a very, very long time. So why not? Let's be safe about it and save money.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. And if you want more information on that study, we have it on KSAT.com.
Well, in case you missed the latest KSAT Explains, our team takes a deep dive into so-called forever chemicals. New federal regulations limit how much of these chemicals can be in our drinking water, but what are they and how are we exposed to them?
Just about every organ and function in our body seems to be impacted by these chemicals.
Do you think it's safe to say that everyone, and I truly mean everyone, has been exposed to these chemicals?
I don't see how it would be possible that they weren't.
Now, KSAT Explains looks at how forever chemicals are used, what SAW says they found when testing our drinking water, and what you can do to minimize your exposure. Just scan this QR code on your screen and watch it right now on KSAT.com. You can always find it on KSAT Plus and on your YouTube channel. Summer break is winding down and soon students will be back in class. For a lot of parents, that means shopping. And we know it can be expensive, especially if you have more than one child. So before you go to the store, take a look at what you already have at home. That way you don't buy things you don't need. Another way to save some cash, shop for secondhand clothes.
Your child may have a perfectly fine backpack that just needs to be run through the wash. They may have school supplies in that backpack that have not been used or in good condition to use again. I would go to the local Goodwill or Salvation Army consignment stores in your town, see what they have there, and then get what you need beyond that.
Now, experts also say that even if you don't have any kids to shop for back to school supplies, it is still a great time to save on supplies for your home, especially if you have a home office. Now, right now on KSAT.com, if you need a little help this back to school shopping season, there are so many ways to get school supplies all over the Alamo City. Things like backpack giveaways are just one way local districts and nonprofits are helping families ahead of the school year. Now, if you want to learn more information about how to get help for your students, just scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen right now. The time now is 9:39. It is 81 degrees. We'll be back in just. We are taking a look with live cam. It is 81 degrees. It's already getting warm out there, Sarah.
It is already getting warm. It's the weekend. A lot of people are going to be enjoying outdoor activities. I am braving the outdoors, and I'm going to have an outdoor brunch at 11 a.m.
Okay.
I'm, counting the cost. It is going to be warm, but at least I'm not out there at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Nice cold drink. That'll help you.
Yeah. Some lemonade or something.
So there you go.
Hey, but it has been a while since we've actually seen 100 degrees in San Antonio. It's been 14 days since we've seen 100 degrees as the high in San Antonio. Last time we saw 100 at the airport was on July 6th. So it's been 2 weeks. That's a pretty big accomplishment for the end of July here. And this is an even more impressive thing is when we look over the next several days, our highs are going to be very pleasant for July. We're only going to be looking at highs in the 80s Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and that is impressive when you consider that our average high this time of year is 95 degrees. Why is it going to be a little cooler? Well, because we're going to have some rain out there. And notice that it's going to be cooler than average for a good portion of Texas in the coming week and hotter than average for a portion of the northern tier of the United States. This is pretty typical during the summer months, when one part of the nation is dealing with one thing, the other part is dealing with the other. And so we're going to have a tale of two seasons. It's going to feel a little bit more like early fall in San Antonio with, again, warm weather still, but at least the chance for rain. And that's because that heat high is off to the west. It is not right overhead. This time last year it was right overhead, pretty much baking Texas. We were dealing with triple-digit days, 103 to 106 degrees. Not so this week because of a stationary boundary overhead. That's why we're going to have the potential for some rain starting tomorrow, Monday night. That's when our better chance for rain starts. And then throughout the week, even though it's not going to be raining all day on Tuesday, all day on Wednesday, all day on Thursday, there is going to be the chance for rain on those days and a good chance at that, 60%. So looking at your rain chances, only an isolated shower today, isolated shower tomorrow, and then starting Monday evening, that's when our rain chances really start to pick up. So let me get you through this weekend. It is going to be hot. Okay for outdoor activities, pretty much you go tubing, low and slow on those rivers that desperately need some more rain, or enjoy some time by the pool. Slightly better rain chance tomorrow with a few afternoon thunder showers. And you can see that here on the Futurecast. Watch your screen, only an isolated shower storm possible today, 20%. Notice how there's a little bit more coverage tomorrow in the futurecast in the afternoon. It's first over the hill country and then through San Antonio. So only a 30% chance tomorrow. It's 79 in New Braunfels, 80 in Hondo, 84 in Del Rio, 84 in Cotulla, 86 in Freer. It's 80 in Kerrville right now. And as we look at our KSAT 12-hour forecast, right around noon, it'll be 91 degrees with temperatures climbing to the upper 90s by 4 or 5 o'clock, a small 20% chance. Southeast winds at 5 to 10 and a mild evening with temperatures in the upper 80s by 9 p.m. Here's a look at your highs in your neighborhood. 96 in Kerrville, 95 in Comfort. Seguin, you'll be at 97, 98 in New Braunfels, 98 in Poteet, 99 in Hondo, 97 in Utopia, and 96 in Gonzales. But those temperatures take a tumble in the middle of the week as rain chances go up. Now, with any rain this week, if you do get some rain, like the last couple of times, that rain could be heavy. We're not really anticipating severe weather like in the form of hail or anything like that, Erica, but mainly this will just be some good rain in some neighborhoods. And it'll be splotchy, okay? There will be those that get a ton of rain and those that get a good amount of rain, but just not as much. I think we could have some pockets of 3 to 4 inches of rain around San Antonio by this time next weekend. When we look back on the week and see how much rain has fallen, I think it's going to be a good week for the hill country in San Antonio.
Much needed rain.
Absolutely. We are still in extreme drought, one of the only areas in the state. So we need more rain.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Your time now is 9:47. It is 81 degrees. Now, you may know this guy from his San Antonio-inspired character, Jessica, on TikTok and Instagram. He stopped by KSAT to talk about his inspiration behind the hilarious character. Plus, he has a new project he's working on. We'll have that conversation coming up next. You may know AJ Rivas from his San Antonio-inspired character Jessica on TikTok and Instagram. He sat down with digital journalist Ivan Herrera to share more about the person behind the hilarious character. He also joined a new campaign, the CDC's Let's Stop HIV campaign. Ivan shares their discussion with us this morning.
So AJ, your hundreds of thousands of followers on TikTok and Instagram across the world know a lot about your character Jessica, but I want to get to know the person behind Jessica. Okay. So, did you know you were always going to be a comedian, and how did you even get to this point in your career?
The whole comedian part I didn't know I was going to be. Like in high school, I was always like, so one in the center of the dance floor dancing. I was the one at the high school pep rallies. I would at Harlandale High School, like to plug in my school. Linsa, all Indians all the way. And I was the one, routing up the crowd and getting the crowd going and keeping the crowd energized, and as well, emceeing like quinceañeras and weddings with my boy Jam and J Javi.
Awesome. So I want to talk a little bit about Jessica, which makes up a lot of your content. Who is she inspired by, and how do you even come up with these crazy sketches? Because you got a lot.
Let's keep talking about AJ. No, Jessica, like I said, for those who don't know, Jessica is just a character that I came up with that is inspired by three of my primas, 3 of my cousins. And not only that, but also different friends that I've had in the past and currently, or some of my personal stories that I go through.
So you make a lot of people laugh all over the world, but behind the laughter, is there any pain?
I would say I do have pain. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I've always been the person to make my pain into laughter. And it's very like, sometimes it just sounds so dark and people are like, oh my God. And I'm like, what? Like,
you just joined this new huge campaign, by the way, with the CDC. It's called Let's Stop HIV Together, with another company that you worked with, which is called For All Humans, right? So this campaign aims to bring awareness about HIV in the Latino community specifically. What made you want to partner with several other Latino influencers just like yourself to become an ambassador for the program? And also, what does this campaign mean to you?
Okay, so I would have to say first and foremost, the fact that it's not only for the LGBTQ plus people, it is also for my Latino people of all shades of colors. I just felt like, oh my gosh, this is so nice. The fact that, we're out there in New York shooting this campaign and just seeing different walks of life there. The whole campaign, what it means to me is the fact that no matter the lifestyle you may have, it's always best to know your health, like how your health is going and know your status, no matter whether it's HIV or anything else, but obviously this had to do with HIV, and I just feel like the Latinos need to get checked more. I just feel like this campaign, the fact that we can have an HIV test that you can do at home at your own comfort, because we can go to a clinic or doctors and it's kind of like it's a little nerve-wracking. At least you take your time in your own home. You get to have somebody there with you or be alone, and it's for free.
Right, and people can find those on your bio and link on.
Yes, the link in my bio on my Instagram. You can find the link. It'll send you to. All they need is an address to send it to. That's all they need, and you'll get the kit. You do it yourself. You send it back in. And you'll get your results. Awesome. And you're in the comfort of your own home.
Awesome, AJ. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much.
And it's been great talking to you.
Talking to you and the weed eater back there.
Well, this morning, San Antonio police are investigating after they received a call yesterday evening about a body found in Woodward Park on the 1000 block of Locke Street. We have a map up right now. Upon arrival, police located a decomposing body in a bush. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office examined the body at the scene. So far, no word on the identification of that body, and the cause of death is unknown. This is an ongoing investigation. We'll bring you more information on air and online.
I'm standing just behind the Forest Hills Library off of Ingram Road, where at 10 o'clock, the city of San Antonio is going to be coming together with the Fair Housing Council of South Texas to give an information center to renters on the rights and responsibilities they have in our area. Organizers tell me they're going to be mostly going over local, state, and city laws about renting in our area, and say they want to do this because eviction rates have